Oh man. It is hot. This is the first day in like, what do you see? This is the first day in probably at least 2 weeks that it has not been absolutely freezing like in the afternoon, like it's not in the 30s. So like we just went for another walk and sweating actually is happening, which is fine. It just hasn't happened in quite some time. I feel like it's been forever, even though it hasn't been that long. What is it? What's out there? So today's a little bit of a light work day, middle of the week technically for most people, but it is like my second to last like work day of the week, and it's pretty light. Thursdays are actually even a little bit heavier than Wednesdays are now, which just kind of changes depending on clientele and whatnot. But it's only 12:30 and I'm like pretty much done with work for the day. I'm gonna do some programming later, but I'm taking a midday break. We just went for a walk, and I need to run a couple of, I think there's a cat outside. That was Hunter. Are you fine? I need to run a couple of errands. Quimby has like this like scratch, like I say a scratch, it's not a scratch, it's like a bad spot on her leg that it looks like, we think that maybe she like scraped it or something while she was outside playing and whatever, and then like maybe the scab came off or something and it was bugging her and it was itchy and she like started chewing at it. You know how dogs do that, which is gross. But so like we wrapped it yesterday and she's being super punky, like woe is me. Now Hunter's being the baby. So I just need to go get some more antiseptic stuff because it's like fine, she's leaving it alone, but I want to make sure that it's okay. So we're gonna buy some stuff at the store and I need to pick up a couple of things. But I thought, as I am working into like doing more content that is somewhat like life related and whatnot, but also like talking about the fitness and nutrition things. So today what I wanted to talk about were some of the common switches that I recommend to people when it comes to nutrition. When we are like just starting out and trying to figure out how do we get more protein in our day, how do we get more fiber in our day, and how a lot of the things that we typically eat, if we don't think about it, are very low in those things, but we can make some very small switches that are basically the same products, but like just a little bit better version. And then boom, we've got, you know, a much better, why are you being such a baby? I mean, seriously, look at him. I just, oh, life is so hard. We hate it. We're pathetic right now. So going over some switches essentially of foods that would be better replacements. So let's go over some of those. I gotta grab them first. Let's see what I actually have still, because like I kind of spur of the moment decided to do this. So we'll see what I have in my pantry. But I think I have most of the things that I wanted to talk about anyway, so here we go. So I just grabbed a bunch of them and we're just gonna kind of walk through some of those. We're gonna move this a little bit out of the way. Yeah, we're gonna just like walk through some of them. And some of them are replacements, some of them are just like things that I think are worth keeping on hand because they're really easy to throw into things. I just think it's worth knowing that like if you keep these things in your house, like at the end of the day, it's easier for you to like get to those goals, even if your day, excuse me, even if your day is like not planned at all. When it comes to food, if you have some of these things, you know that you're like climbing your way up to like better nutrition, right? So first thing that I tell people to like always keep is spinach. Okay, first off, buy it in the box. When you buy it in the bag, it just like it goes bad way quicker. So buying it in the box is way better. But spinach is one of those things that if you use it in everything, which you like can use it in everything, helps you get in obviously like your micronutrients. It's great for iron, and spinach doesn't really taste like anything. So like I put spinach in my breakfast like skillet every single morning. You can throw it into a smoothie and it's a really great and easy way for you to get some greens in. If you cook it down like in like some coconut oil or olive oil, throw some like garlic powder on it. I'll sometimes just do like spinach and potatoes or spinach and mushrooms. And again, it doesn't really taste like anything. So if you throw salt, pepper, whatever on it, it just tastes like that. So I'm a big fan of always keeping some spinach. And again, buy the box, okay? Next thing is anything that Bonza makes. Banza, however you want to say it, but the Bonza brand is essentially made from chickpeas. So everything that they make, just so we can like get a little focus shot. So you can see this is pasta, penne pasta. So on the back it compares it so you can see, let's get that in there, your Bonza brand versus your average pasta, right? So a lot more protein, a lot more fiber, and then less carbohydrates. They're showing you net carbs. I don't track net carbs. You should just track carbs. But either way, carbohydrate wise, it's still lower. So I tell people this is like a great dual carb protein source, because when you're trying to figure out meals and say, okay, like, how do you make more protein in this meal, right? We think of our protein source and we're like, okay, add more chicken or something, right? But like you could do a chicken pasta or ground beef and penne pasta with marinara to make like a normal, almost like spaghetti, right? But you switch out your pasta for this and boom, you've got a lot more fiber and you've got a lot more protein without having to add like more chicken, which we all know, like eventually you're like, I'm tired of eating more chicken. So this is an easy way to add that in. They have all different kinds of pasta. So they have like spaghetti, penne, bow tie, shells, all that good stuff. So like you can make your kids mac and cheese with Bonza. They do actually, I think now have like mac and cheese boxes, which is great. They also make rice now, which is cool. So it's again made from chickpeas. So it's still the higher fiber, higher protein. And they also have pizzas, like frozen pizzas. So a better frozen pizza option, there you go. I also like to buy the cauliflower crust pizzas. You can buy just the crust or buy like a cauliflower veggie pizza or pepperoni pizza. I don't have one of those on hand because we ate them last night. So, oh, but I do have like the box. Hold up. Since we recycle, I had it in the recycling bin. So the cauliflower brand, super great. The whole pizza is 660 calories, which is like a full meal, right? Which is great. You would get a decent amount of fat, I'm not gonna lie, and it's like a lot of carbs, but 20 grams of protein. So like if you buy this and throw on like some chicken or something else on it, you could increase your protein pretty easily. I'm gonna be honest, I usually end up with a lot more protein like at the beginning of the day, so I don't necessarily need a huge protein meal at the end of the day, so usually I can get away with this. And like not have to add extra stuff to it. But I've done it where I've added chicken to it. Like just bought like the Purdue grilled chicken strips and like thrown those on top. Great. And it does have 6 grams of fiber, which is not a ton for a meal, but again, it's still better than buying like your typical like other brand frozen pizza. And it's a much easier thing to make, right? You just turn the oven on, stick it in. So, but Bonza also has one now and it is higher fiber. I believe it's a little bit higher protein. Actually, now that I think about it, I think it's like 19 grams of protein if I remember correctly, which I don't know how I know that, but I feel like it's 19 grams. So still not terrible, better than like a typical pizza is gonna be. And again, has higher fiber and ingredient wise is a little bit better, right? So there we go. Okay, next thing I always have in my house is some kind of plain Greek yogurt, okay? This is Kroger's low-fat plain. Usually we do non-fat, I just couldn't find it, to be honest. So it's got 8 grams of protein per serving. A serving is 3/4 cup, 170 grams. So you can see that there. Really great for, obviously, like, you could just make a yogurt bowl out of that, great. You can also throw yogurt into smoothies to add extra protein too. We also throw this in everything. And when I say that, I mean everything. We put this in, like if we buy a frozen cauliflower mash, we'll throw like a couple scoops of this in there. So like basically adding 8 grams of protein or so to the whole thing, which is not a ton, but it's still, it helps with the consistency of it to make it better. And again, adding better stuff into it. I throw a couple spoonfuls of this into my breakfast skillet also. It's like sour cream, right? And so then you can use this for when you do taco nights too. And it's a better alternative in terms of like higher protein, lower fat than like a sour cream option is going to be when you do taco nights. So really simple way to make a small change. And I'm telling you, if you've not had plain Greek yogurt, it tastes like sour cream. The consistency is different, but when you're eating a burrito or a taco, like you can't tell the difference. So yeah, I probably use that once to twice a day. Next thing, really great and easy to have on hand, Kodiak cakes, cups. So they have oatmeal and they have flapjack ones. These are fantastic. They have 10 to 14 grams of protein. The flapjacks have 10 grams. I think some of them may have 12, 14 grams for the oatmeal power cups. They're great for like quick on the go breakfast. They're only 230 to 250 calories. So it's not really a full breakfast, but it's still, again, way better than like not eating breakfast. So we're looking at somewhere between 3 to 4 grams of fiber and 10 to 14 grams of protein. So like overall pretty good. These are also something you can take on a plane, which is cool because they're powder. There's not like liquid. And as long as you have a microwave, right, you can take care of that. These are great. Stone uses these sometimes for breakfast. If we're in a hurry, I'll eat one of these too. So we keep those on hand. They also make like a big mix one that you can make muffins and flapjacks and all of that out of. But in terms of like quick stuff, those are great, right? Again, buy the box if you want the box. All right, next up is some Dave's Killer Bread. We have the bread too, but these are the buns. So Dave's Killer Bread brand, I tell every client just to use this, okay? You can also use like sprouted bread and things like that that are great for you. But if you are eating like just plain white bleached bread, you're gonna have a little bit better luck with this. So 2 grams of fiber in one of the buns. Again, great to get some fiber in from your bread. There's some sugar, but it's not a ton compared to a lot of, and again, that's something you can look at, like a lot of breads add sugar. There is some added sugar, but it's not as much as most breads are. 6 grams of protein in your bun. Yeah, so like you eat a 4-ounce burger and then you eat this and you're looking at like, you know, 30 to 35 grams of protein. We love that. All organic stuff again, yay, we love that. And then they do have breads. They have a white bread, they have a wheat bread, like all that good stuff, but they don't use bleach flour and there's not high fructose corn syrup, which we also like. So again, something you're gonna use often, just switch it to a better brand. Dave's Killer Bread. They also do bagels. They also do English muffins. They do it all. So switch to them. Last 2 things that I wanna cover are talking about sauces. Okay, now I love smothering and covering things with delicious sauces. Who does not like doing that? Okay, there we go. It's like lighting was a little weird for a second. So these are just 2 examples that I pulled out of the fridge versus pulling like 18 different things out. But there are lots of brands out there that are making better options for you for condiments. So simple things like switching to an olive oil based mayo, right? This is the Hellmann's brand. It's olive oil mayo dressing. So it's higher in omega-3s, which we know are good fats, or if you don't know, omega-3s are your good fats. We want those, and vitamin E, and it's got less calories. So again, if you're like strictly looking at calories, because it uses the olive oil, it is less calories. Great. 1 tablespoon is 60 calories, which is still like a lot, but it's a lot better than regular mayo, okay? Bolthouse Farms is also great for dressings and whatnot in general. I don't think that's focused. Okay, maybe that is. So there's your ingredients. It's 45 calories per serving, which is much better than a regular ranch. I love ranch, okay? I put it on everything. But utilizing this one helps out with calories. It's also got 1 gram of protein, great, but like carbohydrates are lower, fats are lower, which is great. So again, not telling you to get rid of your stuff, but like, let's just get better options of the things that we like. So like switching out your pastas, switching out your bread, switching out your condiments. And now we've got probably cutting down on calories a decent bit over the course of a day. Adding in some green stuff by just mixing it into things because it doesn't really taste like anything. Throwing some extra stuff into other things or using it as a replacement, and we can look at already having a much better quality food intake. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't need to be eating your veggies and your fruits and your whole foods, right? This is just how do we kind of keep some staples in the house and also switch out some things that like you're likely gonna wanna keep eating. I'm never gonna give up eating pasta. And I still eat some regular pasta too, but I would say 90% of the time we do Bonza. 95% of the time we use Dave's Killer Bread. When I don't, it's because I'm getting some sourdough bread usually. So those are just some things that you can switch out. Hopefully this was helpful for you. If you think it was helpful and you liked it, go ahead and subscribe. I'm not gonna tell you that we put out new videos every week because like, I'm not that consistent, but look for new content, more nutrition stuff, more fitness stuff coming soon. And again, if you liked it, go ahead and subscribe and we'll catch you next time.